Hey friends, in this follow-up to last week's sunscreen episode, I'm diving into the most common sunscreen myths, like whether SPF 100 is actually better. If you need sunscreen on cloudy days, what exactly is the UV ray index anyway? I'm going to go into that. And what does SPF even stand for? So I am busting the myths. I am clearing the confusion and giving you the real facts that you need to know to keep your skin protected and glowing 365 days of the year. Let's get into it in this episode that starts now. Welcome to the Spa Skin and Beauty Podcast. Struggling with wrinkles, dark spots, or an overwhelming skincare routine? I'm Lindsey, an esthetician who has found a simple skincare routine for clear, youthful skin, even in my 40s. In this podcast, I'll share quick, easy, non-toxic solutions to help you love your skin and stay motivated. So grab your products, press play, and let's transform your skin. Welcome back to Spa Skin and Beauty. I'm Lindsey, your skincare coach and esthetician, and today we're diving into episode 2 of the Sunscreen Slip Up series. So if you tuned into part 1, which I hope you did, and if you didn't, definitely go back because those are some really good tips we went into. You already know the most common mistakes like not using enough sunscreen and forgetting spots like your ears and lips. Okay, it was so good, but there's so much more to uncover. So today we are setting the record straight. Well, I'm setting the record straight on some of the biggest SPF myths that are out there and what you really need to know to protect your skin and age on your terms, right? All right, number 1 myth. SPF 100 means you never have to reapply or less sun time. Okay, that is a myth. Many people believe that having a higher SPF means you're practically invisible. So truth is, SPF only measures your UVB protection, not your duration. So question for you, have you ever wondered what SPF actually stands for? Okay, so I'm going to tell you, it stands for sun protection factor. And have you ever wondered what UVB and UVA rays mean, right? I'm going to tell you that too. So UVB stands for ultraviolet B, which is a type of ultraviolet radiation found in sunlight. So those rays, those are the ones that are known for causing the sunburns and are a major factor in the development of skin cancer. Now the UVA rays, those are your ultraviolet aging rays. So those play a greater role in your premature skin aging changes. And that means like including your wrinkle formation. And broad spectrum sunscreens, those protect against both the UVB and the UVA rays. And that's why you want to make sure that you have a broad spectrum sunscreen. Wanted to go over that. So in fact, these are some very interesting facts, okay? In fact, SPF 30 blocks about 97% of UVB rays. SPF 50 blocks about 98% of those rays. And SPF 100 blocks about 99%. So the difference between SPF 30 and SPF 50 is just 1%. So the SPF 100 is only marginally better. So it doesn't matter. Higher SPF does not mean longer protection. SPF 50 isn't proactive all day, and SPF 100 certainly doesn't give you freedom to reapply less, okay? The real protection upgrade comes from reapplying regularly, not chasing the highest number. So I'm totally fine using an SPF 30 and just keeping, just doing smart. So I'm totally fine using an SPF 30, just making sure I reapply it correctly and being out in the sun on specific hours, okay? Myth number 2, I don't need sunscreen when it's cloudy or mostly indoors. Now, I know that we pretty much know this, but I just want to re-emphasize. We're just going to bust this once and for all. Clouds do not stop UV. They only block at about 20%. And your windows, they block UVB, but not UVA, which ages your skin. Now, I personally have tinted windows, which blocks up to about 99% of both the UVA and UVB rays. So especially when you have children, I just think it's important. I don't know. I personally have invested in my windows are tinted because children, like especially my Ellison, he's in a car seat and that sun is just getting on his little legs. So now it's tinted and the little arms. So just think about that. So I think that tinted windows are they're important. They are designed to either absorb or reflect the UV radiation. So it prevents it from passing through the glass. Obviously, states have different tint restrictions. So just look that up and keep that in mind. But if you're able to, I highly recommend to tint your windows. Skin damage happens even on really dull days, and UVA sneaks through car windows and office glass. So really make sure that if you're sitting near a window, that you do have your skin protected. Even when I'm inside, I do have some type of SPF on, and I'm not trying to get directly right at the window. I'll back away just a little bit from it. I just want to make sure that I'm still being protected inside. But tip, use a broad spectrum SPF daily, whether you're at the beach or if you're in an office by a window. Just keep that in mind. Myth number 3, this is exciting. Well, I think it is. The UVA ray index doesn't really matter. That is a myth. Okay, this one drives me a little nuts because the UV index absolutely matters when it comes to your skin health. So if you're thinking, what in the world is Lindsey talking about? What is a UV index? I'm going to go into it right now. So the UV index is a rating scale from 0 to 15 that tells you the strength of the sun's ultraviolet radiation in your area. So I talked about this on the last show, but you can find your daily number through different things. So you can do the National Weather Service, you can use an app like UV Lens, and personally, the app that I use is called UV Index. I've just used that for a long time. I just love it. So the app, they're updated in real time, and it gives you an idea of how quickly you could burn. So that's why you want to use it. So tip, I personally check the UV index like every morning, just like I check the weather. If it's high, I adjust my outdoor plans, especially right now, we're in the middle of summer, or I layer up on some protection. Quick pause. I'm hoping this deeper dive is helping you feel more informed and empowered about protecting your skin with sunscreen. But here's the thing, okay? Sunscreen is just one piece, an important piece, but one piece of your skincare puzzle. And if any of this resonated with you, maybe you've been unsure which SPF is right for you or your skin, you're dealing with stubborn jowls, dark under eye circles, that's usually a big one, or you feel like your products just aren't working anymore. This is exactly why I help women with my 30-minute skincare coaching sessions. These are not cookie cutter recommendations. We sit down together virtually and I look at your skin, your routine, and your goals. So whether that is affirming, brightening, tackling dryness or congestion, or simply simplifying your product lineup, I am here to help. And yes, I will also help you find the right sunscreen for your skin type and lifestyle, plus how to layer it properly with the rest of your routine so it actually works. So it's skincare without the overwhelm. There's no Botox, there's no filler. It's just proven strategies, expert guidance from me. I've been a master esthetician for over 15 years and a spa owner, and results you can actually see. So if you're ready to take out the guesswork of your skincare routine, I would absolutely love to help you. Head to lindseyholder.com/coaching and grab your spot. I'd love to work with you. I get so excited about it, and I love seeing the results, and I cannot wait to help you have your skin glow at any age. All right, so back to the episode. So I want to give you a quick breakdown of how to read this UV index, because I talk about it a lot, but it may not even make sense. So let's kind of go over what I mean. So if the UV index, so again, we've got the 0 to 15, right? So if the UV index, if the meter's reading like 0.2, that risk level is minimal, and it's telling you that the time to burn, you have about 60 minutes. So you still want to have your sunglasses on, your sunscreen, you still want to be protected, but that's like your window. So that's like when I walk outside in the morning, I love walking really early in the morning or later in the day when the UV index is 0 to 2, because my time to burn is a lot less. Obviously, I have 60 minutes, it's minimal. If the index is 3 to 4, all right, we don't have as much time. It's 45 minutes. So you obviously want to wear even more protection. I usually will add on a hat if it's at that low time too. If the UV index is 5 to 6, that's definitely moderate. So now we're bumping up to, you got about 30 minutes before you burn. So in those, you're usually at the pool. So you want to make sure, because it's a little hotter in the day. Most people are at the pool then. So you really want to make sure that you're reapplying the sunscreen, but you really want to have your sunscreen on, your sunglasses. You want to add a hat and really want to be in the shade more. And you want to make sure you're reapplying. Now, let's jump into a high one. That's about 7 to 10, really getting up there. Okay. 15 minutes is all you have. That is the time to burn. 15 minutes. Stay out of the direct sun. You only have 15 minutes. It's really important when you go to the beach. You're like, oh my gosh, what happened? I burned. What was the UV index? You only have that 15 minutes. It's high. That's why it's so important to really look. If your index is 11 to 15, like run. It's really high, very high. Like do not go out in the sun. You have 10 minutes. 10 minutes. I was watching this YouTube on Brian Johnson. Okay. And excuse me, scratch that. It was Netflix. It was his documentary. I'm pretty sure it was Netflix. And he was in, oh my gosh, I cannot remember what country he was in, but he was doing one of his treatments and the index was so high that day. And he literally was like running to his car because he mentioned the index. And I think he had umbrellas on the way in. And that's because it was so high. You just burn so quickly. Like minutes matter. Minutes matter. Just remember that minutes matter, especially in the high. I just happen to go over what my index and my specific area in South Carolina look like today. So the high UV window today, which means that the UV levels, which were greater than 6, those hours were between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. That was the high UV. Now the peak that was today, which means that it reaches the really very high to extreme UV numbers, which was 9 to 10. That was between 12 p.m. and 1 p.m. So my burning time was extremely high between 12 p.m. and 1 p.m. So that was the 15-minute mark. So that was today. I want to make sure to honestly just stay out of the sun during those hours too. So that is just an example of what today looks like in my area. Really look into what it looks like in your area. Myth number 4, you can skip sunscreen on non-summer months. Nope. I know that summer equals sun, but UV does not hibernate fall or winter. Now, in fall and winter, you still get up to 80% of summer UV levels. Just remember that. SPF is year round. Even if it's winter, your skin has got to be covered. Snow and dry air reflect and intensify exposure during cold months. So just remember that. So I wear sunscreen all year round. And I always think of the aging part. And I work so hard to keep my wrinkles at bay. I'm not about to blow it just because I'm not wearing sunscreen. Myth number 5, all sunscreens work the same for every skin or activity. That is not true. So different lifestyles and different skin types require different sunscreens. For example, if you're athletic or you're swimming, you want to opt for a water-resistant physical formula and just make sure you, of course, follow the manufacturing instructions on when to reapply that. Now, if you're oily or acne prone, try a lightweight gel or an oil-free option. You could try a mineral sunscreen. That would be good. There is a sunscreen gel option by Bare Republic, which has a decent rating by the EWG. It's linked on Amazon. I'll put it in the show notes, but that one is a sunscreen gel formula. I thought that was really a neat option. If you have drier skin, you're going to want to find one with ceramides in it. So One Skin is a great example. They have ceramides in their sunscreen, and One Screen Body is wonderful too. I'll put the link down in the show notes too, but that is an excellent sunscreen if you have drier skin. If you're unsure which type suits your lifestyle and skin, no worries. I cover this in detail in my 30-minute skincare coaching. So just check that out at lindseyholder.com/coaching. And I'll be glad to help you with all of your skincare needs. Myth number 6, a tan is a healthy glow. Now, let's call it what it is. It's a response to DNA injury. So any tan signals that your skin has been injured by UV radiation. So there's really no such thing as a safe tan. So if you really want that bronzy look for less, which I love it, I do a sunless tanner and I love the Beauty by Earth one. It's got great ingredients. It's non-toxic. And personally, to get the best glow, without streaks or less streaky, I usually apply it during the day because I'm moving around at night all over the sheets. So I usually apply it in the morning, and before I take my shower, I rinse it off and I have that nice glow. So Beauty by Earth is a wonderful. So you can use the Beauty by Earth, and that's just a wonderful sunless tanning option. Okay, so episode takeaways. SPF isn't about strength alone. Reapplication is key. Clouds, windows, and seasons, those do not cancel out UV. Tailor your sunscreen to your skin and your lifestyle and ditch the tan myth, okay? It's not a reward. It really is damage. And don't forget to use those UV checking tools to be proactive. I mentioned this a lot. I mentioned it on the last episode. I sprinkle them all throughout all my episodes, actually. And it's just a part of, honestly, my daily activity, like checking the weather or my email. I'm always checking my UV index. It's really that important. I'm like, oh, I know when here's my burning window. I know to try to really avoid it or really prepare if I have to go out during that time. I hope that this was fun to learn some new stuff, and I cannot wait to go over what we have in store for you next week. So make sure to stay tuned for next week's episode. It's just going to be just as good. Thanks for listening. I really appreciate everybody taking time out of their busy day to listen to this podcast. It really means the world to me. So until then, stay glowing naturally. Keep the momentum going inside the Lapree Beauty app, your free go-to skincare guide created by me, a licensed esthetician of over 15 years. Inside the app, you're going to find exclusive tutorials I recommended during today's session, perfect for tackling dark circles, oily T-zones, and maximizing your skincare in just 5 minutes. Plus, I've reviewed some of the budget-friendly products we talked about so you can shop smarter and feel confident about what's going on with your skin. Download the Lapree Beauty app on the App Store or Google Play to access expert-backed videos, trusted product tips, and bonus content from today's episode. Your skin coach is now right in your pocket.